Hey, good afternoon. What is it? What time is it? 12. Good lunchtime, everybody. Hope everybody's having a great Saturday today so far. Let me close these windows up. It's pretty hot. Got my air on here. There we go. Anyway, guys, I want to get on today. This particular topic has been brought up a few times by not only my my clients that I'm doing on my 60-day online coaching, but for those people that are actually looking into my 60-day online coaching, I have information that talks about eliminating fruit from their diet temporarily while they're going through the 60 days or 90 days or 180 days. And so obviously most of you out there have probably been eating a lot of fruit. If you're on some kind of a diet, most of you are probably eating fruit during that diet, either in your protein drink or just as a snack or something. Well, there is a reason why, guys, that I eliminate fruit completely from their eating plan temporarily. And those of you that are in the health industry, or those of you that might be educated in nutrition, obviously you know what high glycemic is and what low glycemic is. And actually, you know that you want to stay away from the higher glycemic foods if you're trying to lose body fat. Stick to the lower glycemic foods, and that includes fruit too. But fructose, which is a sugar, as well as glucose, which comes from carbs, sugar. That's all there is to it. I mean, so when you're trying to lose that body fat, or if you're trying to control your blood sugar, if you're a type 2 diabetic, then basically you got to keep your sugar levels very, very, very low. And of course, there's some sugars that are worse than others, but the thing is, it doesn't matter, because fructose from fruit is sugar, and glucose from carbs is sugar. And so the object is to keep your body, or keep yourself from consuming too many of those carbs, which are converted into glucose, which is sugar, and then of course eating a lot of fruits, which is sugar. Now, some of you probably don't know this. Most of you probably don't know this. I just learned this not too long ago, because it wasn't ever taught to me. But I really didn't understand the transport system when it comes to fructose from fruit versus what the transport system is from glucose from carbs, and how that will relate to escalating the result that you're looking to get to burn that body fat, or to burn that belly fat, or even to get your blood sugar under control if you're a type 2 diabetic. And so both the fructose from fruit is metabolized different than the fructose from carbs. And so when you're eating carbs, which means it could be starchy carbs like pastas and breads and potatoes and rice and things like that, and vegetables, your fibrous carbs, well, those are converted into glucose, sugar. And the body can basically metabolize that glucose throughout the whole body. And so the body is going to use that glucose up first as energy, but it's going to be metabolized throughout the whole body. So that paints a picture of how glucose is used as energy right away. But fructose is totally different. It is metabolized totally different, and it's metabolized mostly in the liver, and it's not being metabolized throughout the whole body. So you see the picture I'm trying to paint here? And so when you're overeating the fructose that's in fruit, and you're basically metabolizing it most likely only in the liver, then the overflow is going into your blood. And then where is that going? Well, that's going into your fat storage compartment, basically. And that's why you have to be very, very careful when you're consuming fruit. Now, if you look at our ancestors, they had very, very little fruit. See, our bodies were not designed really to live off the glucose from the carbohydrates, the sugar, nor was it designed to live off of the fructose from fruit. So if you look at our ancestors in the primal ages, they were gatherers, seasonal eating. A lot of times they had to climb trees to get their fruits, and the fruits were only available for a very short time. And so that's why they didn't have issues of obesity or cancer or diseases like that. But they did have it, every so often when it was available. So they weren't overindulging. Well, here in the United States and a lot of other countries, we're getting 600 to 800 to 1,000 calories of glucose and fructose from all this fruit and sugars that you're eating. Tons and tons of grams of it. You could be getting, 200 grams, 300 grams of fruit if you're not careful a day, which is going to cause major medical issues as far as obesity, weight gain, and of course your blood sugar is going to go up, and you could possibility of type 2 diabetes. But the transportation system for the glucose obviously is the hormone insulin, but there is a separate transportation for fructose. And I'm going to try to, now I do have science backing this up, and I will post it with this video. And I'm going to try to explain it in a very simple way. So I'm going to use a visual, a bus, okay? And so you have your one bus, which is the glucose, which brings in the sugar and takes it throughout the body and transport all that glucose to all the different cells and all of the muscle cells and all that stuff. But then you have a different type of bus, and that bus is going to transport only the fructose. And so the fructose is waiting there at the bus stop to be picked up. Now there's 2 separate times per day when there's a larger amount of buses to come pick up the fruit. In the morning, you have more buses that allows the fruit that onto the bus and to be transported into the liver and then to be divvied out in the fat cells. So you got a whole bunch of buses there. Then in the evening time, later on in the evening, you have a lot less buses. Okay? Now, if you think about this, I'm going to try to explain this. If you think about this as storing fat, because I just said that fructose is primarily metabolized into the liver. You overeat the fruit, obviously it's going to spill into the blood, and then the excess fruit that's not being used is going to go right in the fat stores, which means a lot of it is. Okay? So if you have more buses in the morning and you're eating your fruit in the morning, then where is it being transported to? You're right. You're transporting it right into your fat cells. Okay? So if you change your time of eating fruit moderately, say in the afternoon, when there's less buses to take that fruit into your fat cells, then hopefully your carbohydrate, because you're on a low-carb diet, like my clients, we do a keto, intermittent fasting, and we do hydrogen-rich water. And so your carbs are going to be low because you're on a keto diet or you're on intermittent fasting. And so your body's going to try to use up the fructose as much as it can to use as energy. So what you're going to do here is you're going to try to eliminate the fructose from the morning, put it in the afternoon, and then I'm moving it over to, I don't know if you can see me that well. There we go. But anyway, so that kind of gives you an idea of why I eliminate fructose from my clients doing a 60-day online training, is because I want to deplete the liver from the sugar while they're on the ketogenic diet or intermittent fasting, because obviously the object of these protocols is you want to become fat adapted. You want to go into ketosis all day long. You want to go in ketosis as often as possible because you want to burn the body fat you're storing. And if you're consuming fructose from fruit, that isn't going to happen. It's going to throw you right out of ketosis. It's going to build up in your blood, and it's going to go into your fat cells, and you're just deceiving your purpose. So, yes, I eliminate it for a while, but you can introduce it once you become rooted in fat adaptation. You can go to my YouTube channel, type in Bill Mabry, subscribe to it. There's videos on there on what fat adaptation means. But once you got into rooted fat adaptation, you could introduce the lower glycemic fruits back into your diet, which are your berries. Okay, so Emily and I make our own homemade kefir, or not homemade yogurt. So we're going to mix some blueberries or some blackberries or some raspberries in there moderately. We're not going to overdo it, but we're only going to do it during our weaning window, because we do intermittent fasting and prolonged fasting. So we have a certain window to eat, so we're only going to do it during our eating window. We don't do it after we've done, during our fasting at all. But we do it moderately. See, that's the secret word, I guess, is staying moderate. But like I said, it may take you 60 days, 90 days, 120 days, or 100. I'm not sure. It may take you some time to get into fat adaptation. I mean rooted, where your body is actually primary living off the fat of your body for energy, and the fat from the food you're eating for energy. Now, there's another video I did on the difference between the fat from your eating to your actual stored fat. Which one would you rather be burning? And that's why a lot of people fail when it comes to doing intermittent fasting or ketogenic lifestyles, because they're not sure, that they don't understand. They've got two types of fat from the food you're eating if you're doing a keto diet, and then your own stored fat. Well, obviously you want to be burning the fat you're storing first before you're burning the fat that you're eating, and you got to have a way to do that. So anyway, guys, if you want to know more about our 60-day online coaching, just message me. Of course, hydrogen-rich water plays a huge part in escalating the body fat loss and help to regulate blood sugar if you have type 2 diabetes. So if you want to know about hydrogen-rich water, message me also. I'll send you some information about it. So I kind of hope this kind of gives you guys a little explanation on the difference between the fructose from fruit and glucose from carbohydrate. Yes, they both will cause they'll both cause you to gain body fat when you're actually trying to lose it. So you got to keep the fruit at a very moderate, and keep your carbohydrates very, very low until you've reached your goal. And then your body loves it so much. It loves being in ketosis because of the energy, that it's automatic. This becomes a lifestyle. And so you don't have that craving for sugars anymore. You don't have that craving for that starchy, crappy food you've been eating in the past. You want to eat healthy. Your body wants that because it realizes that that's the only way that we can survive. Okay, guys, hope you saw some value in this. Like I said, message me if you have any questions, and you guys have a great Saturday, and try to stay cool and hydrated. Have a great day. Bye.